Ladies and gentlemen, RosterWatch Nation, welcome back to the epic RosterWatch Podcast, brought to you by RosterWatch.com. My name is Alex Dunlap, here today with the Trashman, who's going to talk to us about some rookie value picks that he's identified for Dynasty and for early 2020 redraft leagues. Also going to run a quick simulation here using version 2.1 of the epic cheat sheet at RosterWatch.com. Also some news and notes we got to hit coming out of the weekend. Trashman, what the hell's going on, brother?
Not too terribly much. Prepping for maybe some rain out here. I don't know. You can never tell. Texas weather. They're like my ex-girlfriend. You never really know what you're gonna get.
Yeah. Which ex-girlfriend? Probably all of them.
Mainly just the most recent one. But
well, it's that. I mean, she's anything like Texas weather, man. She pretty woolly girl to deal with. Let's just start out here. Let's do a screen share and just do a quick simulation using version 2.1 of the epic magical mystical cheat sheet available at rosterwatch.com. This pick is from the this draft is I'm picking from the 9-hole. Let's just start it over so we can just reset all the parameters here. Okay, so we go to the draft wizard on Fantasy Pros, start a mock draft. So this will be a 2020 PPR snake draft, 12 teams. It's randomized me for the 11th position. Are you okay with that, Trash Man, or you want to try a different one?
I feel like we picked at the end quite a bit. Maybe.
Right. What about the 7th?
We can try that.
What about earlier? What about the pick 1? I always love that.
It.
All right. I love that because that gets me McCaffrey. With the so it's a 12-team league. With the wide receivers, do you want to go 2 wide receivers, 2 flex, or 3 wide receiver, 1 flex?
I like the 3-1 just because I think most people's leagues are going to be more like that.
All right. One change here it might not. We moved Kenyon Drake up a little bit live on the show last time you and I were on. So I'm not sure that's going to be accounted for, but everything else should be accounted for in this test 2 for this cheat sheet. We'll be drafting against the expert consensus of Fantasy Pros, all these different ADPs, the composite ADPs for ESPN, Fantrax, RT Sports, and Fantasy Football Calculator, also the best ball average draft position composite from FFPC and from Best Ball 10s, and then the pre-draft rankings at Yahoo, ESPN, and NFL.com. So we'll see what the hell happens here. This is live, and I'm not sure how it's going to go. But hopefully things go well, and we always know it goes well when you get to start out with Christian McCaffrey. Going to hope for a good balanced roster after this because that's what the cheat sheet's supposed to do, and it's been tested a whole lot. We've done dozens of these simulations, so we're going to go with Clyde Edwards-Helaire, who I'm beginning to become more and more comfortable with as you can get him that easy at the 2-3 turn. Mike Evans here also available. I've heard a lot of talk this week, Trash Man, about Mike Evans. Do you become worried about him at all with the people worried about just, Chris Godwin being just such a better, if he's just stylistically just a better fit, a big slot guy with a lot of athleticism after the catch, whereas Mike Evans is more of a kind of throw it down the field, get the ball to him.
I was going to say Mike Evans is a lot like Rob Gronkowski in that way, but they have Rob Gronkowski. So, yeah, it'll be interesting to kind of see how that transpires for Evans. I don't think he'll get much volume.
I didn't mean to cut you off. Going to get Jonathan Taylor here in the 5th round. There's some news on him we're going to get to. We could typically choose between him and DK Metcalf, but since Tyler Lockett fell to us, there's no way we're going to be taking 2 Seahawks wide receivers there. And it looks like we're going to be able to address wide receiver a little bit more here at the 6th, 7th round turn as we can get Will Fuller. And then we have a choice now between Darius Geis and Emmanuel Sanders, who are next to each other on the sheet. Do you have a preference with the way that this roster has gone so far? We do have 3 wide receivers and 3 running backs.
I like Sanders there.
You do. Okay.
I just feel he's going to be more consistent. I mean, Mike Evans, we don't know what the consistency is going to be like. Will Fuller, we don't know what the consistency is going to be like. I think Sanders is kind of a lock to get.
Is he?
Targets.
He's coming off injury again.
I think he's arguably the number 2 target in New Orleans at this point.
I think he's probably inarguable, right? And I mean, it's Jared Cook and Alvin Kamara are the 2 others that you would consider besides Michael Thomas.
Yeah,
I'm not sure. You're right. That is not inarguable, but it sure seems like he'd be the odds-on favorite. I'll go with Sanders. I kind of wish I'd like to go with Guice, but I understand where. Oh, look at you, trash man! Darius Guice is going to be available at the turn of the 8-9. He is. Look at this. So we'll get Guice, and we'll get Keyshawn Vaughn, and that sounds like a plan. Talk about how we have just addressed, really addressed a well-balanced team here in the cheat sheet coming through once again. We'll get Tyler Higbee here. I was talking to Byron Trashman. If Tyler Higbee can be 75 to 80% of what he was last year to end the season, those final 5 games, I mean, if you're getting him here in the 10th round.
If you're a Cooper Kupp owner, you hope that isn't the case.
Yeah, he probably not. If you're an Amari Cooper owner, you don't want to see this about CeeDee Lamb, but boy, I love getting the possible number 1 option in the Dallas Cowboys offense this late. And this is going to be awesome, man. So we're going to get a couple of tight ends that we really like here because of the 12-13 turn. Mike Gesicki will fall to us. TJ Hawkinson and Aaron Rodgers are on the same line, so we can get Aaron Rodgers here as our QB1. Boy, how things have changed in this world, trash man. Where you get Aaron Rodgers.
We've always advocated for taking quarterbacks late, and people can see how it pays off.
Denzel Mims here at the final pick.
Yes.
I mean, trash man, look at this team. Okay, so the quarterback, and this is using version 2.1 of the cheat sheet, the RosterWatch Ultimate Draft Cheat Sheet for PPR leagues. This is a 12-team league drafting against all the different sources that your teammates are going to be, or not your teammates, your league mates are going to be using against you in drafts. What we've done is we've leveraged ADP to make it easy, simple to use. The sheet is made of magic. Aaron Rodgers is the quarterback. The running backs are Christian McCaffrey, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, Jonathan Taylor, Darius Guice, Keyshawn Vaughn. The wide receivers are Mike Evans, Tyler Lockett, Will Fuller, Emmanuel Sanders, CeeDee Lamb, Denzel Mims, and we have 2 great tight ends, 2 upside tight ends, I would say. 2 great upside tight end candidates, and Tyler Higbee and Jonathan Taylor. Trash man, hard to get much better than that. That's a hell of a mock draft.
Yeah, it's a very well-rounded draft. I like the latter half of it. I liked getting Lamb and Mims so late. That's incredible value. And
getting Guice whenever I was thinking about taking him, whenever you wanted to take.
Well, you just have to realize in a lot of these situations, other people
guys are going to fall. They
don't esteem some of the same players that we do.
But that was a major fall, trash man. That was a 24 or a 22 pick fall. It was just crazy. I wouldn't expect that to happen. But sometimes it does. I just have to tell you the 2020 RosterWatch cheat sheet is available now at rosterwatch.com. The revolutionary cheat sheet that changed fantasy football forever is back. Winning fantasy players don't use outdated magazines or expensive draft software that's impossible to navigate. The RosterWatch cheat sheet, all you have to do is follow 3 simple rules. I said 3 rules. It couldn't be easier. The RosterWatch cheat sheet. Get it now at rosterwatch.com. How many times did I say the RosterWatch cheat sheet?
5?
Yeah, I think I was told I need to say it 5 times. The RosterWatch cheat sheet. Okay.
Samir is asking, does the cheat sheet help me in deciding which players to keep in keeper leagues?
Yes, it does. Just whenever you have your keeper league, just make sure and read the instructions. Just in short, keep the players that are the best value on the cheat sheet for where you can get them. But there are specific instructions for keeper leagues and for auctions. Okay. It's not just 3 simple rules though. there are additional rules in keeper leagues and in auctions, but certainly the 3 simple rules in all snake drafts. All right. So Trashman, one of the guys that we took in that draft, Jonathan Taylor, a little bit of kind of news, a little bit of Frank Reich. What is he? What do they say? Peeing on our leg and telling us, he's throwing a little bit of raining on our parade, throwing a little bit of water on the old fire here, saying that inherently Marlon Mack is maybe a leg up in what he considers to be a 3-back committee, mentioning Marlon Mack, Nyheim Hines, and Jonathan Taylor. Does that bother you at all about Jonathan Taylor, or was Jonathan Taylor good enough to where you can throw out this kind of talk from a head coach, because we know that the head coaches are going to not be giving away starting jobs here in the off season, or talking about those kinds of things, and they're usually going to be deferring to veterans and kind of talking those guys up. He said there's definitely inherent respect for the returning starter when he was asked about Marlon Mack. That is from Roto World via 107.5 The Fan in Indy, where Frank Reich had an interview yesterday.
I mean, well, I've said going into this that I like Marlon Mack as a running back. I don't think he's as garbage as you think he is,
or as most people think he is,
as a lot of people think he is. And I love Jonathan Taylor. He was my number one running back prospect coming into the draft. I mean, all of ours, I think. And so I think they're going to find use for him. I don't think Phillip Rivers is going to carry this team. And so I think they're going to need 2 serviceable running backs. I think Jonathan Taylor will prove that he is perhaps the better downhill runner. I don't know.
Perhaps.
I don't know that he's.
Perhaps.
I don't know that he's the best pass catching back out of that duo.
Hold on. No. Let's clear things up before we talk about the pass catching. Perhaps the better downhill runner. He's one of the best. He's one of the best downhill runners I've seen in my life, man. He reminds me of Emmitt Smith.
From what we've seen at the college level, the thing is, you never really know how these guys are going to pan out in the NFL, and so I have to say that. I have to say that with a grain of salt. I believe that.
Okay.
I believe that.
Okay. It's just. You like Marlon Mack? Where would you draft Marlon Mack in redraft? I
think coaching staffs for the most part are more comfortable with the devil that they know more than the devil that they don't know going into a season.
Yeah, just the devil that you don't know is the devil. What if the devil that you? I think it's the opposite. I think if the devil that you do know sucks, you would defer to.
But Marlon Mack doesn't suck.
He kind of sucks. He He led the league in negative yard runs, not last year, but the year before. He did get a little bit better last year.
In 2019, over 1,000 yards on the ground, 8 touchdowns. I mean,
he stinks. Jonathan Taylor's awesome. I don't understand I
don't see how you have a guy who's averaged 1,000 yards the last 2 seasons and 8.5 touchdowns is garbage. I don't get that, but
yeah, well, I mean, I do agree with the analysis here from the blurb writer at Roto World, saying it's he or she says it might take a misstep, injury, or simply for Taylor to outplay Mack to unseat the veteran and receive the predominant portion of the workload. Clearly, we don't want to rely on an injury or a misstep from Marlon Mack, but to me, it's just outplay. It's just it isn't a question.
How many times have we seen rookies come into the league and not really be implemented by their teams when they have a guy that in the backfield that's already served? Derrick Henry being one of the most obvious recent, examples of that.
Oh, was he with DeMarco Murray also there, or what do you mean? I forgot I was so frustrated by that whole situation that I think I put it out of my mind with this Derrick. Why aren't you playing Derrick Henry? All right. Some other news. Terry McLaurin. Ron Rivera recently compared him to DJ Moore. Your thoughts on that after McLaurin last year? Almost 60 receptions, 919 yards, just 93 targets last season. Is Terry McLaurin? Are you worried about the fact that he's tied to Dwayne Haskins, who I think at least even you can admit sucks?
No, just because I mean, since when has Washington had a quarterback that didn't suck? I mean, he hasn't been playing with great quarterbacks, so I'm not too terribly worried about him.
Okay. Fair enough. I like that though, man. I mean, DJ Moore is a sick player. I like it that this talk of DJ Moore. Oh, hey, speaking of sick players, how about Henry Ruggs? Dude, did you hear what happened to him? He was helping his friend move. This is what Trashman. This is why you're so smart to never help your friends move or never do any work. It's a really good. I mean, it's a really good stance to take. It's just like, I can't. You know, I don't have a truck.
I don't have a truck. I do help friends move.
You do?
They have to be generally of the fairer sex.
I thought you meant they have to be. I thought you were saying they have to be generous about what they'll offer you as far as rewards for helping.
No, not at all.
So I guess it was something with the trailer. His dad says he just got kind of. His dad says he was trying to move a trailer or something, move furniture, had the trailer kind of pinned him against a corner or a wall or something.
That sounds really dangerous.
It was just like a little open wound on his leg, incision, like something stuck him right there a little bit. Oh man, to me, like I know what it's like dealing with these trailers, Trash. I mean, you get that trailer hooked up to the back of your car, and even the tiniest little thing gets pinched. Ooh, it's tough. Those trailers are no punk. Do you know how to back up a trailer? Trash man?
I do. You can't. I don't think you can be a touring musician for any length of time and not know what it's like to back up a trailer.
It is a mind fuck unlike any other. Backing up a trailer.
No, the worst thing is backing up a trailer in New York City. Like navigating with a trailer in New York City.
Yeah, that is a mind fuck. Like
that was a nightmare. We had to.
You didn't parallel park, did you?
Yes, we had to draw lots.
Oh,
we had to draw lots to see who was going to have to drive that thing. And I felt like I could drive an 18-wheeler after that.
Anytime I played in New York City, by then I was already signed to at least some kind of major record label to where we had somebody else driving. There's absolutely no way I would have gone in on a DIY tour that took me to New York City where I was having to park a trailer on like Fifth Avenue. It was unbelievable.
It was early on.
Yeah. Ugh. Yeah. Okay. So Henry Ruggs with the what about this too, Trash Me? Just one more thing, and we'll get into your rookie talk. Boston Scott, because we have Zach Berman at The Athletic saying that he will be competing for more of an offensive role this year. Last year, Boston Scott, Trash Me, towards the end of the year, actually started coming on, and we know that they don't ever want to pay off any Miles Sanders fantasy owners there in Philly. They don't want to. I mean, are they just going to keep Miles Sanders at 16 touches a game, 15, 16 touches a game, and that's it? I mean, is that just what is that what they want for him? Can we never hope for 21, 22 touch per game upside from Miles Sanders because these guys are just so committed to a committee?
I think they don't want kind of a Saquon Barkley situation where you kind of wreck your Ferrari a little bit. Well, no, I mean I think they
drafted Miles Sanders because they wanted somebody a lot like Saquon Barkley.
But if you have a Boston Scott you can put in there to do the hard work, the heavy lifting, and you keep Sanders healthy,
why not have the better player do the heavy lifting?
I think they want to. I don't know if Carson Wentz is any indication of what's happened to him over the past 4 years. I think maybe they're a little gun shy and injuring their star players, their key players.
I mean, you got
especially if you have Boston Scott and he's effective. Why not allow your star player to get some rep? Especially if your offense is mainly predicated on the pass anyway.
Boston Scott's puny. I'm not sure he's that good. And
he was effective for them last season.
I just don't understand. Well, for portions of last season, I don't understand the line of thinking, like the 2019 Todd Gurley line of thinking with the Rams. You pay this guy all this money, and you baby him the whole time. You baby him so much to where you don't even make the goddamn playoffs because you're losing football games playing inferior players. I mean, smoke them if you got them, Trash Man. You're paying them money.
I mean, I'm thinking about what they might be thinking about. I'm trying to put myself in their shoes.
Hey,
this is not what I would do. This is what I think they're doing for that reason.
Put yourself in the shoes of. Would you rather put yourself in the shoes of John Lynch or George Kittle for this next question I'm going to ask you?
The shoes might be a little bit bigger than mine. I wear like an 11.
So Lynch,
Kittle's probably like somewhere around a 13.
Really? I got a 13, man. I think Kittle's probably more like a 15 or a 16 something.
Really? You were a 13?
Yeah, I got some feet on me, man. What do you think, George Kittle? Do you think his agent is saying he doesn't care about the tight end market? He's not crafting a tight end deal. He's crafting a George Kittle deal, which basically means
it's true.
It basically means like, look,
who
I
do
need
you
more
compare
money.
to him? Who do you compare to him? I mean,
You agree?
It's Travis Kelce and Kittle. I mean, like who else?
The sides.
They're different. They're different kinds of players. They do different things for their team. They're playing the tight end. They're playing the tight end position, but they're arguably number one receivers on their team.
I have a hot take for you, Trash Man. George Kittle's the best tight end there is in football, just from an overall standpoint. And so,
I mean, that's not that. I mean, it's either him or Travis Kelce. I mean,
yeah, but if you just look at what George Kittle's able to do as a blocker, and also how much he loves it, and just he's so effective in I feel like the Chiefs could. The 49ers offense cannot be the 49ers offense without George Kittle.
Well, he's the face of that offense. I mean, he's the face of that offense. You're not going to put your team behind. I mean, even Jimmy Garoppolo, that's not the guy. I mean, they got their stable of running backs. I mean, you're not going to choose one of those guys. None of the wide receivers at this point could be the face of the organization. Kittle is Mr. 49ers right now, and he's going to get whatever he wants.
He needs a bigger contract than Amari Cooper.
I mean, you can say that now. CeeDee Lamb is down there.
He just does. Yeah, that's definitely true. Okay, but no, he needs a better contract than Amari Cooper, and I hope his agent can get him one. He needs to get paid like a pseudo elite wide receiver type for everything he's able to bring to that team. All right, your value rookies. We talking dynasty? We talking redraft? We talking just overall? What do you think?
This applies to dynasty, but I think it can apply to redraft too. And the first one is Chase Claypool.
Really? First guy we're talking about, Chase Claypool, huh?
Yeah, I mean, he's the 12th wide receiver in fantasy. I mean, in dynasty and rookie leagues and rookie drafts right now.
Who
which
else
I think
ahead
is
of him?
I mean,
do you know, or did you just write down that he was 12? Who's ahead of him?
I can look at it now. I mean, CeeDee Lamb, Jerry Jeudy, Jalen Reagor, Justin Jefferson, Henry Ruggs, T. Higgins, Michael Pittman, Denzel Mims, Laviska Shenault, Brandon Ayuk, Brandon Edwards.
Brandon
Edwards.
Brian, I think those are all players that I would take over Chase Claypool at this point.
You would take Edwards over Claypool right now?
I love Brian Edwards. I think Brian Edwards.
Well, maybe if Ruggs is hurt, but I mean, I think Claypool's on the better offense. I think he's got the better quarterback. I think he's the better red zone target. I mean, that height speed combination, that's hard to find. I get
it. He does not play that fast, man. He just doesn't. I mean, you saw it on tape. I saw it on tape.
In the end zone. I don't know that you have to. I don't know that you have to in the red zone.
I mean, so basically, what we're saying is we're getting a Juju Smith-Schuster rebound. We're getting a Deontay Johnson breakout.
He's gonna be the only starting receiver in Pittsburgh that's over 6 foot.
Okay. Juju's not 6 feet tall.
I don't think so.
Was he 5'11" something? That's crazy. This guy Joe San in the that's the Periscope. He's saying Edwards over Claypool all day. Edwards can play and here's the other thing about Edwards.
I mean, I'm not saying that Edwards isn't a versatile player and he might be a better prospect. I'm talking about where he is and how they're going to use him.
Okay. Well, I mean, I think that where he's being taken right now in Dynasty is actually probably about right. So I can't agree that I think he's a terrific value. I think he's priced correctly. I think that he certainly has upside. I mean, who would have thought that he had that speed? None of us knew he had that speed because the fact of the matter is, you go to the Senior Bowl and you don't see that damn speed. He doesn't separate. The whole time we're saying, like, why didn't he move to tight end? He could be a killer tight end. There were teams that thought that too. Then he runs this 40 and you're just like, whoa, what? How did that happen? And I know sometimes whenever they come and run that fast 40 that maybe you didn't see on tape, you could think like, well, this maybe has some Chris Godwin to it. A guy who he said like, well, you worry a little bit about his straight line speed, but boy, you love the dog that he plays with, and you love the way he can get the contested catches, and you love his route running, and you love his fearlessness over the middle, right? You add on the straight line speed there at the combine, and you say, whoa, shit, what do we have here that we're dealing with? This could be a different kind of animal. I'm just not getting that same feeling. Like there aren't these other aggregate parts of Chase Claypool's game at the wide receiver position that I put together with the straight line speed, other than what you said, the ability to go up and get it, contested catch situations, back corner of the end zone, pylon drill type of stuff. And those are valuable in fantasy. But I think at Dynasty, Ben Roethlisberger's old. We're seeing the other people in his draft class, Eli Manning, Phillip Rivers, starting to get to the end of their careers. Ben Roethlisberger has taken absolute shit care of his body this entire time compared to some of these others. I don't think he's going to last. I don't think he's going to last that much longer. So for Dynasty, I worry a little bit about Chase Claypool because I don't trust anything that they have behind Ben at the quarterback position. We've seen what that team turns into if Ben's hurt, and there's no fantasy viability to it outside of the running back position if they are feeding one guy.
All right, another guy I think has value is going to Darrynton Evans. He's going to be the 10th running back. He's the 10th running back. I mean, like right now, he's the 24th ranked rookie in rookie drafts. This list in Fantasy Pros, the only way to really look at the rookies, it doesn't include the ADP.
Okay.
If you could look look in the other one,
just for redraft, I mean, Darrynton Evans it's free. He's free. So I kind of agree, man. I agree. I like Darrynton Evans. What is it about him that you like most? We know, I mean, he's an 84th percentile spark athlete. He's not necessarily young, but still when he gets to the NFL, he will have just turned 22 years old. He ran the 4.41 40, and then just as far as his production in college, not much in the not as much as some of these others in the receptions department, as far as just from a pure market share standpoint. Only a 9% market share, but 9% market share is pretty good. That's not an Eno Benjamin. That's certainly not an Eno Benjamin. But that's not even really like, a Zach Moss or like a Keyshawn Vaughn is a 14%er. Even Cam Akers, people don't talk about Cam Akers at all as a receiving back. He had an 11% market share. Antonio Gibson, of course, we know what kind of receiver he is. We're looking at a guy that's sort of, people talk about how J.K. Dobbins and DeAndre Swift maybe didn't catch enough passes in college for them to feel comfortable projecting them into that role at the NFL level. And they had the same market share, as Darrynton Evans did. It just seems like or higher market shares, 10% and 11% respectively. Wait. I'm sorry. No. They're both at 9%. So J.K. Dobbins, DeAndre Swift, Darrynton Evans. It's like, but it's weird because people are just expecting Darrynton Evans to be the next Deion Lewis.
Well, the thing is, for me, it's a lot about where he landed and what it means if Derrick Henry gets injured on a team that's so predicated on the run at this point. If Henry goes down, it's going to be the Darrynton Evans show in Tennessee.
Okay. I just, he weighs 203 pounds, that's fine.
That's fine for me. I mean, there are other running backs. I mean, in Minnesota, why am I blanking on his name? Dalvin. Yeah, I think
Dalvin's 210.
If he's more than 210, I'll be shocked.
Let's see, Dalvin Cook's weight 209. So yeah, So are you shocked?
No, I told you if he's more than 210, I'll be shocked.
209 is fine. Man, we've always said 205 is kind of that threshold, trash man. That's the Trey Mason. It's the Trey Mason. It's the
and you have to think Evans is going to put on some more pounds. Most rookies do add weight.
This guy Trey Biggs has a question. He's saying Trey Briggs. I have a couple questions. First one, would you guys rather draft Gurley over Fournette, Bell, or David Johnson? And is this just a redraft league? Yes, I take Gurley over those guys. I like him this year in Atlanta. I do not like him for the long term though. So I think, and if we're talking Fournette, I think at Fournette I take. Did he mention Fournette? Oh,
he did.
I think I like. Fournette.
I know you love Fournette. I don't like Fournette that much.
I think I like Fournette. Just I have Fournette and Gurley back to back with Fournette ranked one spot ahead of him. So if you like Todd Gurley a little bit better,
you do love your Fournette.
Yes, I do. Yeah, I do. One day he's gonna, One day he's gonna hop up and slap the haters in the face.
You justify Fournette almost as much as you do Kirk Cousins and your undying love for him.
I'm gonna bring this show in with a Kirk Cousins ID live from the Senior Bowl, just to bother trash, man. So Trey Briggs is asking again. He says that 16 league redraft league. So this guy's just coming here and getting loaded up with all this info. Should I go heavy wide receiver and wait till the third or fourth round to get my running back, regardless of draft order? No. I'd get your stud running back because you can only start one. You don't want that one starter to be shitty. Joe San is asking if you like Raquel Armstead, trash man. Is he worth holding? I'll tell you. I've seen Raquel Armstead live, and I think Raquel is awesome. He did not show very well for us last year when given the opportunity.
He didn't show very well, but no, I liked him going into the draft process when he was a rookie. I don't think he's a special kind of athletic talent.
And here's the other thing:
he's more than serviceable. I compare him somewhat.
You got to hold him though.
How I think about Keyshawn Vaughn.
Okay, well, good. But here's the thing: you have to hold him though, because all those dudes did all the. I think maybe am I wrong in saying, Trash Man, that they didn't draft a running back? They brought in James Robinson from Illinois State, and then who was the Clemson kid? Not Feaster. Was it Feaster? Tavian Feaster? Did he go to Clemson? Where did Tavian Feaster go? He was a kind of a backup, but yeah. So he did go to. Oh, he was at Clemson and South Carolina. Okay,
like behind Armstead is Divine Azigbo,
who was undrafted to the Saints last year. Who I kind of like. He was a Shrine Game. He was a Shrine Game standout.
He's a big back.
So yeah. So I would say Trey.
But yeah,
Trey
definitely
Briggs
hold on.
Anybody else?
Armstead's definitely worth holding.
Yeah. So Joe San, hold on to Armstead and Dynasty. Trey Briggs. Yeah. I would not change your draft strategy radically just because you have that one. You just have that one running back spot. You don't want to be stuck putting fucking David Montgomery in that spot. Any more values, Trash Man? You ready to get the hell out of here?
We can maybe do one more.
All right.
And actually, it's a guy we talked about. It's Eno Benjamin.
I don't hate it. I don't hate it. It's not as much as we like Kenyon Drake. It's not like he's ever done anything for a whole season.
Rookie running backs right now.
Yeah, I don't hate that at all. I don't hate that at all. Once he put on the extra weight from the Senior Bowl to the Combine, and I kind of saw him because I was like, dude, if you're gonna be playing at 195 in the NFL with that playing style that you have, I mean, we've talked about it, Trash Man. Even look at his tapes from where do you go? Wiley East. I forgot somewhere in Wiley. If you look at him versus if you look at him versus even high school opponents, he was not that much faster than everybody else. He was just he was untackleable. And we saw the same thing at Arizona State, the human pinball machine. That running style was not going to get it with 195. He comes to the Combine 207. He looks bigger.
Yeah, I like him. I think he's a good fit in Arizona.
Yeah, I like Eno Benjamin too, man. Now, if it comes down to Kenyon Drake getting hurt and you got to run to the waiver wire and pick one guy up, is it Eno Benjamin or is it Chase Edmonds?
I think it's Eno Benjamin.
All right. Well, that's a great way. It's a terrible take, but it's a great way to end it. Of course, it's Chase Edmonds, but we'll definitely end it there.
A trash man defers to the better talent.
Yeah, I agree. DJ Moore in Dynasty, you got to rank him. This Hepatitis D is asking this. How do you rank DJ Moore in Dynasty? Yes, above OBJ. Yes, above Amari, and yes,
in Dynasty, better than above all of them.
I mean, he's like a top 4 option in Dynasty, which could get better if we see how he reacts to Teddy Bridgewater, who I'm still absolutely not sold on changing that offense. But Joe,
when did you change your mind on that? I was questioning about Teddy Bridgewater a few weeks ago, and you were pretty bullish on him. What's changed?
I don't think I was that bull. I think that maybe I was less bear. I think the argument that you and I had was about Joe Brady's effect on that offense. I think Joe Brady can make anybody good. That's what he's shown me so far. And if that's the case, then maybe Joe in Dynasty rookie drafts. All right, we're gonna get the hell out of here, guys. We love all y'all, man. If you guys could please, if you're watching this on YouTube, please go over there, give us a quick thumbs up, maybe leave a comment. It's super helpful. It helps our robot overlords to send other people to watch these videos. We definitely appreciate it. Love talking to you guys on here. We'll be back later in the week with Byron. We'll see you soon. Peace.